Reitz and Kurt Goat's team live here in Fresno. How are we doing today, public out there? Kurt, thanks for joining us this morning
You
for a
got it. My pleasure.
real estate sales marketing and loan market real estate update. Let's go. You doing great this morning?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're getting
Murphy's time,
busy.
man. It's been a great week in real estate and loans, right?
Yep, absolutely. We're
Making
we're
out the opportunities for our buyers and sellers. Things are happening. There's
yeah,
a
these
lot of movement,
buyers are
guys.
these buyers are getting stuff done. We're getting offers accepted and it's moving right along.
Yeah, we put in you put in multiple deals in the last week or two. We've got gosh, 13 13 14 13 transaction one and a referral on the board and four of them in the last week. So the buyers know, regardless of a little bit of an interest rate gig, it's time to buy because the sellers are negotiating.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great time to buy because as soon as they drop down under 6, 5.5, multiple offers, and then
Oh
you're
yeah.
gonna pay more for the house. So now's the time to buy. That's what I believe.
I agree, and
So,
I think it's really going to go back to pre-COVID or during COVID, where the rates were so low that it's multiple offers, it's you know escalator clauses, it's cash above appraised value. It's going to be all that stuff's going to be back
yeah,
because there's all these people waiting to buy, and then when that happens, that your first-time home buyers and your people without a lot of cash on hand are going to be out of that market again, which
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
And
I
I've
don't like that
gotten
market.
we got four new deals in the last 7 days in on the team, or the Rights team here, Real Estate EXP Fresno, California. We're over by River Park. And that being said, we had four in, and we were able to get the closing cost on three of the four transactions for the buyer, negotiate a good deal for the buyers. So they're locked and loaded and very happy.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that on your end. So it's the right time to buy. On the real estate, we're looking at, give you some numbers for the public. Honest numbers, we have about 1,420 active and available units. Fresno, Madera County, about 1,420 active and available properties on the MLS system. That's what agents and brokers use to sell their properties, where the deals come from. Uh, we should have about 2,200 is what we show. So we're about 35% short. It used to be about 40% short. But now inventory's picked up a little bit. So we're about 35% short now, 36% short from a normal real estate market on listings available. So a little more inventory, buyers, a little bit in better negotiation. So it's a great time right now. Um, Homes are selling at 99% of asking on an average. If you look at Fresno Madera County, they're selling at exactly 99.1. So 99% of asking price. So if a house was 400,000 and it's selling at 99%, 1% would be 4,000. 1,000 for every 100,000. So that's 4,000. So it's selling at 396 versus 400,000. However, a lot of the buyers are getting their closing costs paid by the sellers. So we're able to get buyers in on a 3.5% down or special loan program where you can get in for very little. We get the closing costs paid. And Kurt will talk to you about those loans here in a minute. But we're getting those great opportunities. The buyers and sellers are very happy. Everybody's moving along, and the market's picked up. We put a lot of transactions in as the real estate market of Fresno Madera County with all the agents and brokers in the month of July, and the same thing's happening in August. So we see the bars are moving forward now. Homes are going up between 0.7 and 1.1% a month, averaging about 0.9%. So 3/4 to 1% up per month right now, still going up. Normal real estate market price increase is what we're seeing right now, which is about 8% a year. So we're going to continue to go up. There's no going down craziness. The market is stabilizing for the buyers, meaning the sellers aren't able to raise them, put crazy prices. So we're seeing price reductions on the internet because they're trying to price them too high, and that's not working for the buyers. So the buyers are getting the right price with the right terms on their offer accepted now. But overall, the houses are still going up over 0.75%, almost 1% a month right now on average.
Yeah.
So the buyers, I'm going to say this. If you take an average price home, Fresno Madera County, which is about 435,000, but let's use a price of 400,000. Write these numbers down, buyers. Write this down. This is real. This is honest, and there's numbers to work with. If you're buying a house, investing in a home at 400,000, and you said, the rates are at 6.5, 6.75, let's say, and you want to wait for them to drop down to 5.25, 5.5, 6.5 to 5.5. On a $400,000 home, that's about $325 a month you save. I'll give you that. You save $325 a month. Okay. In 1 year, 325 times 12, right, is about $4,000. So you save $4,000 by waiting a year. You don't get the house you want. You have to wait a year. You're throwing your money away wherever you live now, probably on rent at $2,000 a month. So you threw 2,000 times 12. You threw $24,000 away. You gave it to a landlord because you want to get a better interest rate of 5.25, 5.5, which will probably happen in a year. Got it. We understand that. Here's the problem with that. You threw $24,000 a month away on rent. We can agree on that. That's the truth. Secondly, the houses are not going down in price; they're going up, and which is normal in real estate. So, a $400,000 house at a 10% increase, I'm going to say 8% increase, which it'll happen. It's going to be more than that, but at least 8% times 400,000 is 32,000. So you're going to pay 432 for that house in a year. 432, not 400. Okay, and you threw 24,000 away in rent. So far the buyer's behind $32,000 more for the house, plus $24,000 a month a year in rent. Right, Kurt?
Yep. And to add to that, at that point
That's
in a year,
$56,000 in lost money. 56,000 to save four.
yeah.
What sense does that make, Kurt?
And let's not forget that once these rates drop, the market's going to be crazy. So that house may not be 432; it may be 450, and you may have to pay 15,000 over the asking price to get your offer even accepted.
I don't care about rates. I just bought an investment property.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because am I making as much as I want to make? No, because interest rates. Does it still make sense? It does, because I know they're going to go up. I'm going to pay more next
Correct.
year. And then all the investors are going to be out because interest rates is in the fives, and I'm going to have to pay 50,000 more, 25,000 more for the property. Right. Might as well buy now. That's for investors and first-time home buyers and move-up buyers, move-down buyers, everybody, all the buyers and investors. So that's just two avenues. You're going to pay more. You're going to lose rent money. You know what I mean? All for that. We can get you that 5.5 now on a 2-to-1 buy down, having the seller pay the buyer interest rate down to 5.5, 5.75. Why wait? Let's go now.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's more reasons than just that. You know, because right now your sellers are negotiating with you. When the market starts to turn, as it will little by little here now, to the better for the sellers, the buyers are going to be in a multiple counter situation like you're talking about, having to pay more. I guess that's all I have to say. They're losing a lot of money by waiting, and I'm not waiting. You always, buyers, listen to this: buy real estate and wait. Buy real estate and wait. All your top real estate gurus across the United States and the world will tell you: buy real estate and wait. Don't wait to buy real estate. You'll always make money. Kurt, that's all I got to say. The truth. What do you got?
Yeah, I agree, and I've got a lot of people that have said, well, there's a market crash coming. There's, the housing prices are going to drop. That's not going to happen. And the way that we know that is, number one, when the last market crash happened, it was a legitimate market crash, but they fixed the problem. So now everybody that can buy can afford it right now. Everybody that had these predatory loans back in the day, those are gone for the most part. These loans that we have now, you have to qualify for them. So what's going to make the market crash? Job loss, that could do it. But we just went through a pandemic with a bunch of job loss and the market went through the roof. So that's not going to happen. Let's say you just can't pay your bills for whatever reason. That person's not going to be a foreclosure. That person's going to be a sale. They're going to sell the property. They're going to make money on it, and they're going to take it and do whatever they want with it. So that's not going to cause a crash. We have such little inventory compared to the buyers that are out there that until you have a big surplus of inventory, you can't have a market drop. And that market drop isn't going to be, if it does come, which I don't think it's going to, it can't be nearly what it was before because everybody can afford the houses they're in. And that's the bottom line is once you can afford that house, you're not going to have a big loss anymore. So on this $400,000 purchase that we were talking about, to go back to it here, once you're at that $400,000 mark, let's say you get a seller credit. We can apply that to that 2-1 buy down, and that's going to save you $500 a month the first year, and then $250 the second year, And what that does is that puts a Band-Aid on your mortgage payment so that for the first couple years, it's reasonable. You can get in the game now. You don't have to wait. And then when the time comes, when the rates do drop, instead of paying higher purchase price, instead of paying higher cash out of pocket, instead of paying higher taxes, you do a refinance to take advantage of those rates at that point. So do it now, or it's going to cost a ton. It's just going to cost you money.
Absolutely correct information. That's right. Because you're married to the house, not the interest rate. You
Mm-hmm.
can refinance at any time. So you'll get the five, let's say approximately 5.5 right now, and in 2 years and drops down to 5.5, which is what we all predict, right, Kurt?
Yeah, something
And
like that.
then you just refi out of it, no money out of pocket. Call your lender, Wells Fargo, whoever it is. Say, okay, we need to refinance this. They do a quick appraisal. Does it cost you anything? Goes into the loan, out of pocket money, and now you got a lower payment again.
Yep,
And
that's it.
and don't forget your PMI. If you're going in with 5, 3.5%, 3%, 5%, 10%, anything less than 20%, which is normal, your PMI is about, let's say, 200 a month. It could be more, but I'm just going to go with 200. It's about there, depending on the price of the home. PMI per month, 200. Once you have 20% equity, which in 2 years, the market's going up 8% a year plus the 3-4% you put down, now you're at 20% equity. All you have to do is call your bank and say, okay, I got 20% equity value on my house now, loan to value, 20%. And they'll do a quick appraisal. Say, yes, good. They automatically drop, or you don't have to refi, automatic drop off of the PMI, thus saving you 200 a month. If you wait to buy, you don't capture that either. You lose that. So you save another 200 by buying now. It's the right time. I mean, there's other reasons to buy, but those are the big points that we just talked about right there. And I want to share one more thing, Kurt. You're right. There is no market crash coming. It would take foreclosures for that to happen. It would take an overabundance of inventory, which we have a shortage of 35%. I shared that right off the bat. That's not going to change anytime. And it might go up little by little by little, but there's plenty of buyers to absorb. So that's never going to happen right now in the next few years. Number one. Number two, you've got sellers have equity in their property. They bought 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years ago. It's went up, 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 up. It only went down last year for about 8.5%, and it went back up 11% this year already. So you're already back up. So they have so much equity in their properties, they're not going to lose them back to the bank. There is no short sales or foreclosures coming. Why? They have a huge amount of equity. All they have to do is call the Reitz team and say, "Hey, I want to list my property, cash out on my 200 grand I got coming." They sell the property, they lose their job, they sell the property, they make 100, 200,000, and they move on. They go rent a property until they get their job back, or they move out of state, or whatever their situation is.
Yep.
There's too much equity in these homes. Value. They're not backwards on these houses because, like Kurt said, they have to have great credit and they have that. That's how they were able to buy, and they have equity. A lot of them bought it. Have a 3% interest rate right now. The majority of sellers, right? That's a little bit of a reason why they have a shortage of listings. That we can't get as many listings as we would like. So that being said, they have equity. They're not going to foreclose. So there is no crash market. Be careful, buyers, who you're listening to. They're costing you tens of thousands of dollars by waiting. It's not the truth. I'm a real estate uh, sales agent, sellers, buyers, investors, and I invest in this market, and I'm paying 7.5% on my 8% on my investment loans. It doesn't matter. I'm gaining equity. I'm making a small amount of profit. I'm moving forward. Buy now on real estate and wait. Don't wait to buy real estate. You miss all the upswing on it.
That's it.
All right. I think we're good. Any last thing you want to say, Kurt?
No, I think that's it. Just stick with it. And like we're saying, now is a good time because I think it's just going to go nuts. Once the rates drop, everybody's going to just jump in. And when that happens, if you're a first time home buyer, especially, you're going to have a heck of a time competing because you need cash
And
in
you
that
know what? You
market.
brought up a good point. Let's give 60 seconds on that. The reason there's a lot of buyers is you have the millennials
Mm-hmm.
and a generation from about 1990 that were born 95 to about 2005, 1990 to 2005 that were born then, right? That are now 18 years old up to about 35 years old, 36, and they're buying. And they had a they had a huge amount of population born in that time. So we have a large amount of buyers out there right now. A lot of them first time in that generation. So we have a huge amount of population from that millennial era buying now, and there's not enough inventory to satisfy them all. That's why that's another reason there's no crash coming.
Yeah.
So there's going to always be enough to absorb, and there is no crash coming. It already happened last year, and it wasn't a crash. It was a slow curve down.
Just an adjustment.
We lost 8%, 8.5% last year. We already gained 11, Kurt, this year.
And the reason that drop happened was because the market went so crazy, just like it's going to do when the rates drop, in my opinion.
Well,
you would buy a house and that house is 400,000. You'd have 15 offers on it. That house would sell for 425, and they may be guaranteed to pay 15,000 over the appraised value. So 2 weeks later, when the neighbor lists, that house was listed at 425. Then it went for 450 because of the same reason. So it exploded the values. And then that correction last year that we saw was just coming back to reality a little bit, because that price increase, it almost compounded on itself twice a month. It happened so fast. It was just nuts. So then inevitably, once the market comes back to a regular market, it's got to correct a little.
Yeah, I agree. So Kurt, give your website and your phone number up, and I'll do the same, and we'll call it.
Yep, I'm at kurtgetz.com, and you can call me at 559-392-5009 or shoot me a text. I'm available pretty much any time of day.
That's for your home mortgage and loans and real estate too. He'll refer it over to me, and I'll do the same thing. So for the real estate buyers, sellers, investors, etc., it's Greg Reitz. You're going to find us on the website at Reitz Team Fresno Madera, Reitz Team Fresno Madera.com, and the number is 559-260-1777, 559-260-1777, and we stay ready for your call.
That's right.
Guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.
We'll see you, everybody.